Our goal is to host events here in Pahrump. I'd like to discuss the topic of the Town of Pahrump Seller's Permit. This permit was originally developed by Susan Holochek and approved by the former town board. Last year, Cheryl Toko and I met with Dan Shinhoff with our concerns regarding this temporary seller's permit. As it now stands, the vendor is responsible to pay the town $5, and this provides the vendor with the ability to sell their products in 5 locations for a 30-day period. Some of the organizers for these events in town provide the vendors with this permit and collect the monies, submitting them to the town on their behalf. The form, in our opinion, tries to cover too many issues at once and is very confusing. For example, not every vendor has a sales and use tax identification number. The Department of Taxation encourages you to obtain one, but it is legally the organizer's responsibility to provide a one-time temporary permit to cover the vendors who are not registered with the Department of Taxation. The next section covers obtaining the property owner's permission to be located on their land or in their facility. Below the signature contains the language: in signing this document, the property owner authorizes the above-named business/individual to offer products and/or a service from their location listed and is not responsible for permits or licenses required. The last part of this form goes to a child declaration support, which is asking the applicant if they have an outstanding court order for child support. If you review the NRS statute 625.387, it states this wording is required by all professional and occupational licensing agencies to add specific questions regarding child support to all applications for new licensees or renewals. I'm going to bypass the second page, which is the affirmation of compliance with mandatory industrial insurance requirements. This form is a state of Nevada mandate that does not apply to many of crafters or artists in Pahrump, since we have no employees working for us and are mainly sole proprietors. But this form is required by the organizer to be filled out every event we host, even if it's a weekly occurrence. I hope by now you can see that this is a very labor-intensive task. If the organizer of this event does not provide the town paperwork to their vendors, the responsibility falls to the individual artist or crafter. At this time, I'd like to state that most of the vendors I work with have their Department of Taxation identification number and have a business license or exemption filed with the town office.